Good morning, my name's Owen.
My name's Harrison.
And today we're doing the Centurions Patrol Training Walk in preparation for our Essex Way 2020 challenge.
You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before.
We're now exactly 1 week away from doing our charity walk. So what we're doing at the moment is our final training walk, the ultimate training walk, the Centurions Patrol. Now, today's only going to be a short walk because we don't need to test our walking. We're perfectly capable that we can do 30 miles without any problems. Equipment-wise, we're just sort of keeping on going with new stuff. But at the moment, we're in the Dutch Quarter, as you can see behind me. And we're just going to talk a bit about the history of what we've seen so far.
Today's walk is only 12 miles long and will be split into 3 sections. The first section is within the Roman city walls. The second section will take us to the Roman river. And the third section will take us back to Colchester. Hopefully this will help to provide some sort of perspective when following the walk.
But now that you've seen the route that we're going to walk today, we're just going to show you a little clip about the history of Colchester, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the significance of the place that we're currently standing, just to sort of let you know a bit about what today's walk's all about.
In 40 AD, Colchester was ruled by King Camulus, king of the Trinovantes tribe. He ruled the area of Essex and Suffolk until his death in late AD 40. 3 years later, in AD 43, Roman Emperor Claudius assigned General Plautius the task of conquering Britain. The general led his 4 legions of centurions and 40,000 men in total across the English Channel to establish a Roman presence. They eventually landed in Colchester, marching down the modern-day High Street with beasts named elephants to scare the local tribesmen. To the Romans' luck, the Trinovantes tribe was in tatters after the death of King Camulus. This made the invasion easy as the Romans brought a much-needed sense of order. In the following years, the capital city of Camulus was established, named after the Roman god of war due to its enormous garrison. From here the Romans began their conquest of Britannia. Not long after the death of Emperor Claudius, the Temple of Claudius was constructed in Camulus to honour his success and ascension as god. In AD 59, the king of the last surviving independent tribe, the Iceni tribe, died, and his wife Boudica took command. In an agreement signed by the fallen king, the land was now to be handed over to the Romans, but Boudica refused. As a result of this, the Romans marched north to the Iceni tribe in North Norfolk, levelling it to the ground and assaulting Boudica's children. In outrage, Boudica schemed and plotted a plan of revenge until in AD 60 she worked with the Trinovantes tribe to reclaim their land and get rid of the Romans. As a combined force, they marched upon the undefended Camulus due to the Romans being out on conquests, and burned it to the ground, murdering all men, women and children in the process. Those Roman citizens in the city hid in the Temple of Claudius until the defending veterans were murdered and all inside were slaughtered. To this very day, Colchester has a black scorched layer underneath its soil. Boudica continued her rampage of terror, destroying British cities until her eventual defeat at the Battle of Watling Street. Her entire army was completely annihilated, and after escape, 2 days later, she took her own life. After success of the Romans, Britain then remained under Roman occupation for 500 years before the collapse of the Roman Empire. During this time, Colchester was rebuilt and expanded.
So with Colchester being the capital city of Britannia during the Roman occupation, it was obviously going to have some very lavish buildings in it. And one of those buildings was, of course, the Amphitheater. Would it be a Roman city without an amphitheater? Now, if you look around, you can see this great painting of the amphitheater as it was. You can see the foundations of the amphitheater below, and you can also see a nice scale replica of what it looked like at the time. Just walked a little bit further north and we're now at Colchester Castle, the site of the Temple of Claudius, built in recognition to Emperor Claudius, the ascended god. And isn't it brilliant?
You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump.
So we're all done now at the Colchester Castle, and we're now heading down to St Botolph's Priory to show you the kind of influence that the Romans had on architecture even centuries after they'd left.
Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't?
So we've just come to the 5th bastion on the Roman wall, as you can see. Huge, expansive Roman wall Colchester had. And you can see all different types of brick on it. The red brick, the flat bricks, are the original Roman bricks, held together by a sandstone cement. I'm getting a bit of geology in here, very nice. Absolutely non-natural though, this is entirely man-made, obviously. But you can see all the little sort of more modern red brick. That's just where over the years they've had to repair the wall to try and get it back to looking like some sort of a state it was in during Roman times. Over the years, you know, bomb damage from trying to hit the gasworks and the various Paxman works in Colchester during the Second World War caused damage. Source of building material, because obviously in Colchester we don't have a great source of building material. We've just got London clay below us, and that's sort of it until you hit the Red Crag, which is even then still quite deep to be able to get to, as you would have probably seen at Walton if you've ever been around that area. But yeah, really nice area of the wall here on Priory Street. It's all along a car park as well, so it's nice and easy to get to. You know, you don't sort of have to hide around any little pathways to get there. So yeah, we're just gonna crack on down to the Priory. We'll see you there in a minute. So we've just made our way down to St Botolph's Priory, destroyed by King Henry VIII, and rebuilt over there. But I'm just going to show you a bit of the Roman influence that architecture then had after the Romans left. You can see all along these pillars the old Roman tiles that were recycled, and they actually constructed buildings the same way. with layers of Roman tiles held together by sandstone and limestone in between. So we're just here now at the Roman Circus. We've walked in from the town centre. It's not that far. I guess the Romans didn't want to walk far for some entertainment. So how'd you find that, Harrison?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, did you like the castle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time, but it was good to see it again.
Yeah, definitely. So we're a few minutes early. We're just gonna rest, get some food down us, get some water down us, and get ready to get walking again. So we'll see you in a bit. We've just come out of the Roman Circus and we've got a pretty big walk coming up. It's about maybe 5-6 miles of this whole 12-mile walk. So we're going to crack on with that. Hopefully we're going to show you some good views. We're going to stop off at the Beer Church Hall camp, the Roman Way camp, and we're also going to go down the dyke through to Priory Woods down to the Roman River. So if we see anything interesting on the way, we'll just stop and let you know. So we're at the Roman River. The Roman River comes up from the River Colne. We've done this walk many times before in training walks, but this is our first time doing a video of it. I'm trying really hard to battle over the mill back there. It's making loads of noise, but we've done a good pace. How do you think it's gone, Harrison?
Yeah, not too bad. It's 7.2 miles so far, 3 hours 30 minutes of walking. So
that's pretty good going. We've had a bit to drink. We've had a bit of a look at what the weather's going to be like, because it's been quite nice coming in from Colchester to here. But in terms of getting back round to Colchester, it might start raining in a bit, so we're going to have to do a bit of wet and dry drills then, I think. But yeah, we're doing really well with camera batteries and trying to keep the workflow going. So we learnt a lot from what me and Tom did before on the Wakescolne, Earlscolne Valley walk up there. So today's going really well. Tom, unfortunately, he's not here today. Whereas Harrison was away last time, now it's Tom. Tom's away wild camping in Scotland, having a jolly old time. So we look forward to seeing him when he comes back down to Colchester and when we do the Essex Way Essex Way challenge, and catching up with how he did up there. I'm sure he's got loads of great stories to tell us and loads of sights that he saw. So yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to get walking again, head back towards Colchester around Gosbecks, and if we do see anything interesting on the way, we'll just stop and let you know. We've just arrived at the Gosbecks site. I'm currently walking right across an old Roman theatre. Now, before the Romans were here, as you'll remember from the Colchester history video, this was the home of the Trinovantes tribe. The King Canobalin had his seat on this very spot, and what he did was he ruled over the whole of Essex and Suffolk from here. When he died, just before the Roman invasion, this is where he died, the settlement would have remained here, and the Romans came in, did whatever deals they could with the Celts, and occupied Britain from here, this very spot. So this would have been one of the first spots of negotiation with the Romans and the Celts. That was really nice over at the Gosbecks archaeological site. We're now walking up Grimesdike, so we came south on the east side of Colchester, down the Beerchurch Dyke, and now we're heading up Grimesdike, which runs from south to north. If you look at a map, you can see it pretty prominently. It's an old Celtic defence, and it's stayed here ever since. So we're heading on towards Lexden Park, where there's more Celtic earthworks and defences, and I'll just tell you when we get there a little bit about the significance of it. Right, it's super wet. We've got our raincoats on and we've just come up from Grimesdike. Morale's not low, but let's just say we're wet. So we've just arrived at Lexden Dyke, you can see down there. How deep is it, Harrison? It's deep. It's pretty deep. You've heard it from the man himself. So we're going to follow the dyke up to Lexden Park, and what I'm going to do is en route tell you a little bit about the significance of this dyke. So, when Boudicca came down from North Norfolk with the help of the Trinovantes tribe, she came here and assembled all the tribes people she could in the area amassing quite a substantial army, and then headed for Camulus Mint. When she got there, that was the big night where she burnt it all to the ground. And that was the Boudiccan revolt. And it was right here that she gathered her troops together and marched on Colchester, then to London, then to St Albans, and finally to Watling Street. So we're going to keep on walking through this dike, and we're going to see you at the ancient mint over at Hillyfields. So we'll see you there. We've just hit the 12-mile mark. The rain's eased off, which is a massive bonus. But also what's a massive bonus is we've made it to the other ancient Celtic site. So where we are at the moment, which you can see in front of you, is the mint, the Camulus Mint. And what this was when the Celts wanted money, they would take some of their silver, some of their gold, they'd bring it here, and in great big huge furnaces, they'd cook it all up, smelt it down, and turn it into coins. And this is how the Celtics did their little bits of trade between tribes. They'd make all sorts of nice little brooches and neck pieces. And then when the Romans came along, there was all this infrastructure here for the greater good of the Roman Empire. It was sitting here waiting for them, and they didn't even have to do anything. So they came along, sometimes worked with the Celtic tribes, sometimes didn't. But at the end of the day, they got their jewellery. So we are going to head on to our final site of this walk, where we're going to wrap all this up, and that's the Balkan Gate and the Mercury Theatre. See you there. Just at the end of the walk now, inside of Balkan Gate, which is the largest surviving Roman gateway in Britain. Near here is the Mercury Theatre. Obviously Mercury was the Roman god of messaging, so it's quite fitting to have it at the main gate into the old Roman city. We're going to wrap up recording here. I think it's been quite a successful walk. So don't forget to obviously like us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Share our challenge as we go towards the Essex Way 2020 challenge next weekend. And yeah, next time you see us, we'll be on the challenge.